up, guys? Cody here from the Fantasy Authority. Today we're going to be hitting you with a video on our favorite draft tips, strategies, and advice for your 2020 drafts. A lot of the guys are going to talk about some of the things that I like a lot, waiting on wide receiver, loading up on running back early. So my tip and strategy for you guys is just going to be to stay fluid, pay attention to your draft. If 9 of the 12 or 8 of the 10 people that you're going into the draft with are doing the same thing as you, it's time to switch it up. If we're telling you, hey, slam running back early, wait on wide receiver, and everybody is doing that, and it gets back to you, let's say you picked in the beginning of the draft, 101, 102, something like that, and it gets back to you, and now you're looking at having to take Melvin Gordon as the next best running back at that spot. Don't do that. Just start switching your strategy there. Let everyone else kind of battle for the same people, and you go to the more valuable players that are being taken in that spot. And one more sneaky tip: pay attention to how people are reacting to your picks. If you pick someone and then someone starts cussing that they were just about to take that player, or oh man, I was hoping that he was going to fall to me with my next pick. Pay attention to those things, because that can become valuable ammunition later on in the season. If you're looking to move on from DJ Moore and someone really wanted him at the beginning of the draft, you can use that whenever you're talking trade with that person. So be fluid, pay attention, and most of all, have fun. Get the guys you want to watch, get the people that you're going to enjoy watching throughout the season. And hey, keep it locked in here to the Fantasy Authority, and let's win you a ship.
Hey everyone, CJ Lang here for the fantasyauthority.com. I'm going to give you a couple tips that you can use during your 2020 fantasy football drafts. Tip number 1, take your guy. Don't worry about runs on a specific position. Let those other clowns reach for those players. Do not let bye weeks affect you when you're taking your guy as well. I would rather get all my guys and blow 1 week out of the season than to sacrifice my entire roster to ensure that I have my bye weeks covered. Tip number 2, depth. Make sure you have plenty of depth, especially at the running back and wide receiver position. Quarterback, tight end, IDP, defense, special teams, those positions can be streamed throughout the year. Running back and wide receiver score the most points, and they have the most value because there are so many of them out there. Just remember, good luck, have fun, and remember to come to the Fantasy Authority for all your fantasy needs throughout the season.
I'm Andrew Harbaugh. My draft strategy this year, almost every single year, ever since I've been doing redraft and realizing the quarterback can wait, is just do that. Wait on a quarterback. There's so many, whether you're in a 18 league, if you're lucky, 10-team, 12-team, even a 14-team league. You can wait on your quarterback and load up at running back and wide receiver and build a depth there, which can also even turn into trade pieces, and still land a quarterback that can get you a championship. I put an article out earlier this week, sometime. I've been writing too much. I'm sure Cody will say that. And I put out how there's at least 4 quarterbacks right now I think can win a championship for people with around 10 or later draft capital. And if you go beyond that and go to like rounds 12 and back, you've got guys like Gardner Minshew, Kirk Cousins is hanging around that side. Joe Burrow, I know he's a rookie and people are afraid of rookie quarterbacks, but he's loaded with weapons there in Cincinnati, and Zach Taylor's going to want to pass the ball even though they just paid Joe Mixon. Gardner Minshew's another guy that's later there. Jacksonville's not going to be good this year, but he still has Tyler Eifert. God forbid he not be healthy, which probably won't be true. DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault, the dynamic rookie they just got. They still got Chris Thompson, who's a really good receiving back, who's way better than Fournette is in that aspect of the game. And you saw how much he used Fournette last year with over 100 targets. So they're going to be down in a lot of games. Gardner Minshew might win you a championship in fantasy. He's not winning you a championship if you're a Jags fan, probably. But the point is you can wait on quarterbacks. And that, for me, is the most valuable piece of information you can take into your fantasy drafts as the season occurs. We're a week out from today, thank God. I cannot stress enough. You're going to want to get your Pat Mahomes. You're going to have your sexy quarterback pick with Lamar Jackson and so on with Russell Wilson. Even though he's unlimited, it's still worth it to wait on the quarterback.
Here's my redraft strategy. grab your starting running backs within the first 4 to 5 rounds. Then load up on wide receivers between rounds 5 and 10, along with a couple backup running backs. And then don't get quarterback until at least round 12, possibly punt later. Basically, you want all skill positions with the exception of quarterbacks or tight ends in your first 12 rounds, and then you could round out your starters. Defense, I don't really care. Make it your last pick. But if you can get a quarterback like Matthew Stafford in the 12th round and a tight end like Jonnu Smith in the 13th or 14th, I think you're going to be really good in terms of depth and the more important positions with running back and wide receiver. Peace out. Good luck.
What's up, guys? Ben Katz here. My 2020 redraft tip of the year is to wait on wide receiver. The first 2 rounds, it can be tempting to grab those guys like Michael Thomas, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill. And although they're super talented players, I think that the running backs that you can get in those first 2 rounds are a lot more difficult to find replacements for in rounds 3, 4, 5, 6. There aren't that many sure things at the running back position, whereas the receiver position is extremely deep this year. So I'm perfectly comfortable waiting till the 3rd to take my first receiver and having it be a guy like DJ Moore, Juju Smith-Schuster. You can get guys like DJ Chark, Tyler Lockett, Robert Woods in the 5th, 6th round. Jarvis Landry's in there. And there are even some deeper guys like Michael Gallup and potentially Jamison Crowder in PPR formats that have a lot of value. So personally, I'm holding off on receivers until 3rd round for the earliest. And then I'm stacking them up in the later rounds because I think that there's a lot of guys that could have some PPR value this year.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for our 2020 fantasy football drafts, strategies, advice, and tips. Make sure you keep it locked in here on the Fantasy Authority YouTube channel, on the website, on Twitter, on Instagram. Make sure you're checking us out everywhere. We're going to be coming at you guys with a bunch of in-season content we're super excited for. We're going to have you covered from redraft to dynasty to DFS. Going to make sure we're trying to give you guys that ship, build up that bankroll, build up those dynasty teams, get you ready for 2020 and beyond there. So just super excited all around, and going to be doing a live stream every week. So make sure you are keeping up with us across all those channels so you can get notified when we are going live. Slam that subscribe button right now. Jump in, converse with us, get some conversation going. Let us help you. Let us guide you. Drop your questions in here. And like I said, let's get that ship